Good afternoon and thanks for having us in. This midday we have new information on two serious hit and run crashes in Sioux Falls. In the first case, police are still looking for the driver who hit and killed a man on the northwest side of the city. Police say the victim's car slid into the ditch near North Marion Road and West Bentgrass Street around 10 o'clock Friday night. The 24-year-old victim was outside the vehicle when he was hit by a pickup truck. The Mission man died of his injuries. Police later found the pickup involved in the crash, but they are still looking for the driver. Investigators believe blowing snow and icy road conditions were factors in the crash. Police are also investigating a hit-and-run crash early Sunday morning in downtown Sioux Falls. In that case, the driver is in jail and the victim is hospitalized with serious injuries. Witnesses were able to get a good description of the suspect and his pickup, and police were able to track him down and make an arrest. 23-year-old Dalton Bynum faces a handful of charges, including DWI, vehicular battery, and felony hit-and-run. He is currently on probation for meth. Turning now to a first look at our forecast, as Adam just told us, it is the first day of spring. We might have to wait a pinch for spring-like temperatures, though, right?
Yeah, it's the first day of spring, allegedly. I'm just going to put that out there because if we would have had yesterday's weather today, we'd be doing pretty well.
Make much more sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
It was warm yesterday. It was a little breezy, but felt more like spring today. Yeah, not so much. And really for a majority of the 7-day forecast, again, not so much. We're going to have to exercise a little more patience in what has been a stretch of time where our patience has been tested frequently with this winter. Falls Park is our first stop this afternoon. 25 with blue skies above, north wind at 10 miles per hour. And we'll head on over west to Gregory. There's a view southeast toward the Burke area. Not much really happening today. Just a little bit of cloud cover that's going to be building in at first. More that's going to come in as we head later into the evening and overnight. 18 right now in Huron, 13 toward Aberdeen, 17 Marshall, 19 in Mulbridge. We do have some 30s out there. It's out in the hills towards Spearfish at 32, Custer at 37, Pine Ridge following suit, at least in that regard. And like I said, if we would have had yesterday's weather today, we'd be doing pretty well for ourselves. But instead, we are noticeably chillier now compared to the same point 24 hours ago, especially in central and western parts of South Dakota, where it's a double-digit difference in the wrong direction. At least it's not really all that windy out there. 5 to 10 miles per hour, largely out of a north by northeasterly direction. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for the rest of the day. Some cloud cover out there. We saw that on the Gregory camera. We'll see that as we kind of peruse the region over the course of the afternoon. But we're only going to stay quiet for so long. We'll have to watch the midweek outlook for that. But today, first day of spring, 20s and 30s for southeastern portions of KELOLAND, including 32 here in Sioux Falls with a mix of sun and clouds. Up to the northeast, we'll see mainly 20s, near 30 in a couple of areas, a little on the breezier side compared to their southeastern counterparts. And out west, you guys fare the best. And I'm using that with some air quotes in place. We're going to be talking about mid-40s at best from Spearfish to Hot Springs, Martin at 39, Valentine at 40. Like I said, springtime temperatures are going to be tough to come by with an exception or two along the way. More on that in your 7-day forecast in a little bit.
All right. Thank you, Adam. Rapid City Mayor Steve Allender is saying farewell after 8 years in his position. While he says this decision didn't come easily, he admits it was the right time for him. This year marks 40 years in public service for Allender. Before he was mayor, he was the Rapid City Chief of Police.
And ultimately, the thing I'll be most proud of is more on a personal nature than it is professional nature, and that is that I will be the same person leaving this office as I was when I came in. And that was a main priority for me. I owe that to my family and my friends and to myself.
In tonight's Eye on KELOLAND, we reflect on Mayor Allender's time as mayor and learn about his plans for the future. An effort to ban books that include LGBTQ content in schools continues to be a big topic in Iowa. Governor Kim Reynolds is backing a bill that could result in the removal of books from school libraries across the state if they're successfully challenged in any one school district. School boards and legislatures nationwide also are facing questions about books and considering making it easier to limit access. Former president and 2024 presidential candidate Donald Trump made headlines over the weekend when he predicted he'll be arrested this week and then called on his supporters for help in a way that reminded many people of January 6th. Astrid Martinez has the latest from New York.
Former President Trump is calling for his supporters to take action as he faces possible indictment and arrest. On social media, he wrote, "We must save America. Protest, protest, protest." The Manhattan District Attorney is investigating alleged hush money payments made to adult film star Stormy Daniels on Trump's behalf prior to the 2016 election. There's concern Trump's words could lead to violence, similar to January 6th, while some of his supporters are questioning why this case is even being pursued when federal prosecutors passed on it.
This is selective prosecution. If I were President Trump, I'd take this all the way to the damn Supreme Court.
In an email, Manhattan's DA told colleagues that safety is the top priority, and we do not tolerate attempts to intimidate our office or threaten the rule of law in New York. Even though Mr. Trump predicts he will be arrested tomorrow, the grand jury is still hearing testimony. CBS News legal analyst Ricky Kleeman expects, if indicted, Trump will surrender to authorities, but not Tuesday. And she says it's unlikely anyone will see the former president in a perp walk.
He is protected by Secret Service, and Secret Service is not going to parade him in handcuffs on a public way.
Today, a defense witness is expected to challenge the credibility of Trump's former attorney, Michael Cohen, who allegedly made the payments, and Cohen may be called back to refute that testimony. Astrid Martinez, CBS News, New York.
Cohen once pleaded guilty to lying to Congress, so Trump lawyers are certain to question his credibility.